another scientific feast with more than 75 foreigner participants from more than 43 countries. On this meaningful day, now I would like to invite Professor Luis Garcia Castrillo Riesco, President of the European Society for Emergency Medicine, EUSEM.
Good evening to everybody. Yes, I come from this small country that looks like a square, and it's at the end of Europe, as far as Turkey is. So we are in the opposite sides. I am really pleased to be here. It's not my first time. Fortunately, I have been with you during the last 4 congresses, and I hope that in the future we can share also our experience here in this wonderful venue. I am also pleased to be the EUSEM representative, very proud of, but I have to say that I am not the only member of EUSEM. Fortunately, to show the support that EUSEM is providing to your organization and to this Congress, we have an extended group of members of the EUSEM board. We have past presidents, board members, and I will say future presidents with us today, acting as speakers and taking part in this Congress. But there is a small problem. The organization offers me the opportunity to share some thoughts with you, and I don't want to resign this offering. So in the next minutes, I am going to share with you some personal thoughts. As president of EUSEM, during the last years, in my mind has been struggling the idea of what is the role of scientific societies. And I want to share now with you my ideas. We are all going to agree in the idea that the first objective of a scientific society is to look for the excellence in the care of the patients. And for doing so, we have 2 tools. One is the continuous medical education, and the other one is research. And this Congress is a good example of both things. Here we are going to be exposed to the state of the art of the situation of care. We are going to be exposed to new technologies. We are going to be exposed and trained on skills. And this is one of the objectives and the main objective of a scientific society. Research is the other one. And here we are going to see the last results of research. But mainly we are going to join other colleagues here, and we are going to think about research ideas. We are going to do exchanges of opinions in between us. Our learning is not going to come from the speakers only, it's going to come from the speakers and from the colleagues. Probably discussing a poster, we are going to learn as much as hearing a speaker here in this room. I want to say that after the Congress, the scientific society work is not finished. It has to continue provide updated information, and this is done through journals, letters, workshops, online systems, and all this is part of the activity of the scientific societies as EPAD and as EUSEM. But this is not the only role. I would like to stress the idea that scientific societies has to be opinion leaders. We have to create guidelines, we have to promote the established guidelines, and we have the ones to have the knowledge to define the type of care that we have to provide to our patients. We have to define the systems of care, and with system, I include the pre-hospital part of our activity and the in-hospital part of our activity. It's impossible to think on emergency medicine without these two elements. And the scientific societies has to lead and have to be the opinion leaders on this. But we don't have to forget that we are working for a specific society, and our society is continuously changing. When I started doing my work, the society was completely different as it is now. Changes occur continuously. New diseases are appearing. New problems are appearing. New procedures are offered to us, as we have seen with the previous speakers, and we have to adapt to these circumstances. We are commonly exposed to the idea that the society is aging, and with the aging of the society, more fragile patients are arriving to our departments. But that is not the only problem. Isolation is a huge problem. You know that in Europe, 30% of the houses are occupied by only one member, meaning that the society is losing the network of the social group. And this is going to offer a new situation to our departments, to our services, and we have to consider and take in consideration this aspect. To deal with all these problems, we cannot do it alone. The scientific societies cannot do these things alone. So we have to look to generate links and synergies with other organizations, with other scientific societies, with other groups, with other federations, not only dealing with emergency medicine, but also dealing with other aspects, social aspects, technological aspects, and we need their collaboration. But mainly we need the collaborations of individuals. And from here I encourage everybody who is not a member of a society to become a member of a society and be part of this big project that I have been showing you. For those who are members of societies, I encourage them to be more active. Probably my words are going to be taken also by IPAD. We have our hands open and looking for more members to collaborate with us. Now I would like to finish these brief commentaries expressing my gratitude to the organizers that allowed us to try to reach our goals, to improve the education, to improve the research, to improve the network in between the groups. This Congress is the right place for do all these things. So thank you for the organizers.
Thank you, Luis Garcia Castillo-Resco, for your opening remarks. Now, I would like to invite Professor Jill McKeown, past president of the Canadian Association of Emergency Physicians.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Professor Dr. Bajar Kandar, Emergency Physicians Association of Turkey, Organizing Committee. As a past president of the Canadian Association of Emergency Physicians, I'm honored and delighted to attend your 6th Intercontinental and International Emergency Medicine and Critical Care Congress and your 15th Acil TIP Congress here in Antalya, Turkey. I'd like to thank the organizers for their kind hospitality. You know, it's the 5th time that I've been here in Antalya, and each time I come, it gets more, the quality of the conference gets better, and I'm very impressed with everything that you guys are doing here. It's fantastic. I'm also an emergency physician like you and have worked for 32 years at Vancouver General Hospital in Vancouver, BC in Canada, where we see over 100,000 patients a year. I had a few other positions as assistant dean in UBC, University of British Columbia, and continued to be the undergraduate education program director at UBC. So I'm going to begin by telling you just a little bit about the Canadian Association of Emergency Physicians. We have about 2,500 members who represent the EPs of Canada. And we are organized around 4 pillars, very similar to what we are doing here. So education and research are 2 of our top priorities. We do an annual conference, and our conference is coming up in May in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and all of you are invited. If any of you are able to attend, we would be delighted to have you there. We also have road shows throughout the year, and we do some other continuing professional development activities across our country. Research, we offer modest seed grants to researchers in Canada that have led to some pretty impressive careers. And we do, the Canadian Journal of Emergency Medicine is our association's journal. The other 2 pillars are advocacy, and we advocate for the specialty of emergency medicine, mostly for our patients and also for emergency physicians in Canada. And our 4th pillar is advocating for emergency physicians. So we have a number of committees and special interest groups that our members can join, and whatever their interest is, and to connect and promote various subspecialties of emergency medicine. But no matter what country we come from, we emergency physicians have a lot in common. So the pride and enthusiasm that I see amongst my colleagues at home, I also see in all of you and in this room and in all the countries that have emergency medicine conferences. So no matter where we come from in the world, I think that we share the common attributes for the fast-paced emergency treatment of our patients, the unique opportunity to be a part of our patients' lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from all socioeconomic statuses, and the ability to quickly diagnose and treat conditions from all walks of medicine. So I don't think global boundaries separate us, and you know, we are truly blessed to have such an amazing career and be part of our patients' lives in the world today, with all of the division and the tumult that is happening all around us. There's no better time for us to get together at international conferences like this to share our knowledge and to become friends with each other. So I'm really happy to be here. On behalf of CAPE, I wish you all an excellent conference, and I hope you all learn a lot from both the academic sessions and the research that has been done, and from connecting with each other. And thank you for your attention, and once again, thanks for your hospitality.
Thank you, Jill McKibben, for your opening remarks. Now I would like to invite Professor Carlos Garcia Rosas, first president and founder of the Mexican Society of Emergency Medicine and Mexican Academy of Emergency Medicine.
This is Latin flavor. We have on the brain, we have on the veins, on the heart, the feeling of the. First of all, I want to thank you for the organization to invite me to be here. Really, it's nice to be here to share a couple of words that we want to do. Let me tell you briefly about my life. I born in this town 33 years ago. No, just kidding. It looks like, but no. I born in this town. They are really a small town. The particular thing is that they have founded by British. We have Bull Ring, the church, and the symbol of the city is the railroad because this is part of the connection between the Gulf, Mexican Gulf, and the Mexico City. And then I moved for the university because it's a small town, they don't have medical school at that time. I moved in 1986. Mexico City, the name is Distrito Federal. Everything is changing. Now the name of the Mexico is Mexico City, that's it. So I live in Coyoacán, in Mexico City. It's a small county in the big city, very nice neighbor. And when I started 33 years ago, probably many of you, they don't have that date. 33 years ago, we started emergency medicine in Mexico. So we don't have men control the emergency room. The land is like desert. We don't have rules. We don't have program. We don't have regulation, anything. At that time, we start to build everything in Mexico City. But it's not easy because we arrived like monkeys. The king of the jungle was the surgeon, and if something happened very strange, they call for the internal medicine because they have a very strange diagnosis. I don't know what, but they think that they know. Over the years, when we started in Mexico City. This is the pioneer of the Mexico City and the Latin America. 15 people started the emergency medicine program in Mexico in '86. And this, believe me or not, I am one of these. These 4 people, we organize the society, we continue to organize the board, we organize the Mexican Academy, and we organize the World Organization in Emergency Medicine for the rest of the world. And then spent in 1994, we spent for more than 60 places teaching emergency medicine now in Mexico. But we not promoted. The best promoting for you and for me, because we are relatives, only different is the language, but we saw similar patient, we are similar life. The best promoting was the ER talk show. They have 10 years on the top in the television and spread the rest of the world. Now the people know a little bit more about what the emergency physician doing. And they have different top shows in different countries, in different language. This is why one of the things I am worried about to know the artists and say, well, who is these Hollywood people doing? And I met, do you remember this nurse? The nurse was for the TV show. And then I came in 1990 to come to Europe. What Europe doing something? And they don't have program in 1990. Few countries, they have a program in emergency medicine. And I met one of the leaders is Dr. Herman Deleuze and David Williams. And then met Dr. Pateron in France. And then we went to different conferences with the other part of the Europe. And also I met Roberta Petino. I don't saw her, but she was involved in many organizations of the conference, and she was the past president of SEM. And also, what is the reference if you want to study emergency medicine, because you don't have books. You have internal medicine or surgery. So we're looking for the guys, they have the New Testament and the Old Testament. Peter Rosen, the 3 tomes for the books in emergency medicine, and Judith Tintinelli for the books to read. And also I write my own book. Now we have 3 of the people that write books for emergency medicine in the rest of the world. So in 1990, I invited the first time Judy come to Mexico because we need to get reference how emergency medicine doing outside of Mexico. And this is why I invite her to come and participate. But this is the evolution in the rest of the country, in the rest of the world. We are the same. You speak Turkish, I speak Spanish, this guy speaks English, but the evolution was the same. We start like monkeys, and now you look tired, you look handsome man and pretty woman. But at that time, nobody believed in us, and this is the normal evolution and then we have. Until here, I saw many leaders that I know for the last 30 years doing these things and very interesting points. But remember, those who cannot remember last, they are condemned to repeat the same mistakes. So be careful. The younger guys, if you want to do something, pay attention in the people was before of you, because you don't need to make the mistake, and you advance quicker than us. And remember, the doctors and emergency physicians is like the wines. The more older, the better. Emergency medicine is this style of life. I lived 33 years like emergency physician, and I feel fine. I feel very well, like many of you. And I made a lot of friends